remember this GQ cover of Ayushmann Khurrana? In 2021, Bollywood actor Ayushmann Khurrana posted a GQ cover on Instagram titled Gender Fluid, just because he had coal eyes and was wearing black nail paint. Now, he received a lot of flake for his careless usage of LGBTQIA+ terms.
You're a cishet male, not gender fluid. Wearing black nail paint and starring in a movie based on gay men isn't gender fluid, a user wrote in a Deccan Chronicle article.
Okay, so what exactly is this gender fluidity? In this FI Explains, let's talk about gender fluidity. Okay, so before getting into the definition of gender fluidity, let us understand what gender identity means, as well as cisgender and transgender. So gender identity is each person's internal and individual experience of gender.
It is a person's sense of being a woman, a man, both, neither, or anywhere along the gender spectrum.
Now, the people who are assigned female at birth and identify themselves as women, and the people who are assigned male at birth and identify themselves as men, these people are known as cisgender or cis. Now, some people have a gender identity that does not match with the sex that they were assigned at birth. These people are known as transgenders. People who are gender fluid comes under the transgender and non-binary umbrella. That is, their gender identity doesn't match with the sex that they are assigned at birth. Gender fluid people also does not abide to societal norms and expectations that classify people as binary.
Psychiatrist Margaret Sadie states that the term is an acknowledgement that there is a spectrum and that gender is not binary. How you experience your gender can change over time or depending on the situation.
Other LGBTQIA+ terms that gender fluid people use include agender, bigender, demigender, or any other non-binary identity. Instead of using binary restricted pronouns like he, him, hers, or she, her, hers, they use more neutral terms like they, them, theirs, etc. Gender fluidity is a fairly new term and a concept, but that does not mean gender fluid people did not exist until recently. In history, we have a lot of examples of people who fell outside the binary sexual identification. Just that was not well discussed back then. Even today, in some communities, gender fluidity is fairly uncommon. It was in the mid-2000s that conversations around sexuality and gender identity started to trickle into the mainstream. Even now in our culture, gender is quite rigid, but we're seeing some kind of sensitivity towards the topic. Now, how does it happen? Most people start forming their gender identity in their early childhood, that is when they are of 2 or 3 years of age. And this is influenced by many societal factors like family, community, and historical and societal conditions at that time.
For many, their gender identity and how they express it take shape at an early age and remain consistent as they grow. For others, either one may change. These changes can occur at any stage of a person's life, but they are more common during childhood and adolescence than in later adulthood. To determine if you're gender fluid, a therapist might ask you the following questions. How do you feel about your assigned sex at birth, and how does it relate to your gender identity? Do you feel like you identify more with one gender or another? Do you feel like you don't identify with either gender? How do you feel when someone assumes you're one gender or another?
You can of course determine if you're gender fluid without any outside help. This requires a lot of introspection, pushing away societal norms and expectations, and connecting with people who are in the same journey as you are.
Many resources can help you along the way, including books, articles, online forums, and even groups that meet in the real world.
Something that we should keep in mind is, if you identify as gender fluid or if you know someone who is, it is crucial to be kind and accepting. Comment down below your doubts on gender fluidity. We'll answer them for you. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more amazing content.